Okay, now we're recording.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another installment of the fantastic series known as the Saturdays Are for the Boys podcast. I'm your host, Hayden. Oh, one of the hosts, with my other host, Angel.
Yeet.
Connor.
Yo.
And returning member, Mills.
Hello.
I feel kind of insulted that you put Angel before me.
Dude, I'm just going to mix it up every time.
Okay, fair enough.
Every intro, I just pull out of my ass and wing it, alright?
Oh, I know.
You're lucky I even had an intro. I'm not just like, hey guys.
I mean, how you doing?
I mean, shit. Yeah, I guess I can't really talk shit because I haven't done an intro for this shit.
Exactly. Get the guy who does voice acting for a living, allegedly, since I haven't gotten a fucking audition in months.
Yikes.
Alright, so there was a hot topic we wanted to discuss. We're obviously going to get into our work stories, good stories, bad stories.
Oh yeah, this is the Work Stories podcast episode, by the way. Emotionally
traumatizing stories. But there's a bit of a hot topic we wanted to address first, and that is Pop-Tarts. We've all had them. We all think that, hey, you know, they're pretty good. The s'mores one ain't too bad.
True. It's
dough or pastry on the outside with filling on the inside. Does that make it a calzone?
It is 100% a calzone.
Not a fucking calzone.
Why is it not a calzone, Angel?
Because it has sugar on it. It's not like a fucking pizza.
So was it a
you never had
pizza?
You never had a dessert calzone?
No.
Dude, that sounds offensively American.
It probably is. Mills, what do you think about this?
I believe Pop-Tarts are just Pop-Tarts. I should just stay out of this argument most of the time.
No, motherfucker, you're giving an opinion. Is a Pop-Tart a calzone, yes or no?
A Pop-Tart is a Pop-Tart. I don't fucking care what
God
you idiots call
damn it, Mills.
All right.
I agree with Mills. Mills is right.
You know what? It's not a calzone. I'm just going to take whatever side is the minority and call everyone an idiot otherwise.
Thank you.
Pick a side, defend it, and then switch sides, then defend it forever. No one can know your true motives.
God damn it.
Do you remember those in school? Did you guys ever have to do those Socratic seminars?
Oh, I fucking hated those.
Hated those.
Like, when you walked into the class and all the desks were in a circle and you were just like, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just like, is it too late to call out sick?
Exactly. Like, hey, sorry, Teach, I'm about to head out. Where are you going? Going to the nurse office. Why? I'm puking. I haven't seen you. I'll talk to you later, Teach. God,
I think I'm supposed to have a nosebleed today.
Sorry, I'm booked for this time. This is when I scheduled my nosebleed. Not there it goes.
Just fucking punch yourself in the face to make it bleed.
Just like right before you walk into the class, just like clip your nose and your nose bone against that metal door frame and just damn it.
My God.
Like, just pretend like you're talking to your friend. You're not looking where you're going. Bop, and then you can get out of that shit flinging thing they call a Socratic seminar. And it was always the worst ideas too. Not worst ideas, but just like, oh, pick a point and defend it. And it's just like, the slowest kids in the class, murder bad. And then, of course, then you gotta go, no, murder good. You gotta do those for like...
Yeah, I kind of just scraped by on those by just pretty much being like, yeah, I agree because, and then giving the most bullshit reason for agreeing. Didn't matter which side. I'd agree with both sides if it got me points, dude.
Yeah, just like that standard format the schools drill into your head. That like...
I feel like I had a different method for getting through those than you guys did.
What was your method?
How'd you do that?
I picked the most bullshit thing I could think of to support.
Oh, see, my goal was to just talk as little as possible in those.
That just accelerated the development of your autism, guy.
God damn
it. Love you.
I love you.
Like, we used to do those. Like, I took a sign language class, and we'd have to like tell a story or communicate in sign language to the teacher, And that was like the most anxiety-inducing shit because I was always bad at it. So I would just like stumble my way through this sign language session. I ended up passing, I think, with like a C or a D, but I didn't care because it was a pass. But
Dude, I wish I could have taken something like sign language in high school.
I mean, it's a cool language, I guess. It's kind of cool to communicate in other different
yeah,
languages.
it's
Like,
talking without actually talking. It's right up my fucking alley, dude.
Nonverbal grunts like, "Hey Connor, how was work today?"
Better just become proficient in that fucking tongue clicking language, dude.
Somalian. That's the language now.
Oh, okay. Do I have to censor that?
God, I thought that was funny.
It's funny, but like, do I have to cut
It
it?
doesn't matter if it's funny. It matters if it's racist.
It's not racist. Everyone's made those jokes. Anyway,
That doesn't make it not racist.
speaking of emotional trauma from school, where we worked, essentially school was like an 8 to 5. Let's talk about our regular 8 to 5, our jobs.
Nice.
We've all had
Beautiful
jobs, we've all
segue.
worked jobs, and we've had horrible experiences at said jobs. Let's go, Nels. You haven't been on in a while. I'm gonna give you the honors. You got any work stories?
Any
He hasn't
work
been on in a
stories?
while. There's only been one episode since he was last on.
That was also the only episode I was on. I've missed more episodes than I've been on.
Yeah, it's been a while. 2 weeks.
Sorry.
Man, time
Work
flies.
trauma. All I can really think of is just a generalization of my entire life working at Panera.
Oh, Panera.
Yo, do you have any
Yeah.
like specific stories from Panera though?
Ooh.
you
Actually,
need
yeah,
a minute to think?
this is a pretty good one. This isn't related more to other people, but more to just computers being fragile.
Oh no.
So like there was just this one day I was working like noon to close, and I come in at about 11:50. You know, as my usual, show up 10 minutes early just to be sure that I'm not late in case traffic hits or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I show up and every computer screen inside, like in the back kitchen, is off. And I was like, uh-oh. What's going on here? And it's like, the night before there had been a massive ass storm.
Oh no.
And so none of at least like the registers and stuff were working. But in the back, nothing was working. So we were running on a ticket system, which no one in Panera was used to using. Like, if you're always on a ticket system, it works fine. But if you're used to just having a monitor showing stuff and all of a sudden, oh, you gotta look at this little ticket, it's not good.
No.
It's not good at all.
Tickets.
That was 10 hours of... Actually, no, we had it fixed within a couple hours, but it was mid-lunch rush and it still wasn't back on.
And you worked at the drive-thru too.
Actually, that day I wasn't working in drive-thru. That day I was just in the main line.
Yeah.
I didn't have to deal with the drive-thru problems that day.
Mm-hmm. Good lord.
Kind of had something similar happen with my current job like that. So, what I do is like it's online order fulfillment, so pretty much the entire fucking system is dependent on, having an internet connection at work. There was one day for like a solid almost week where the entire fucking system at work was just shut down for no fucking reason.
For a solid week?
Yeah, like it would come on sporadically, but then it would be just off 10 minutes later and nobody knew what the fuck was going on with it.
Nice.
Yeah, so instead of like the normal easy tap items, go find them, scan things, and move on with your life, we had to like go with these god awful fucking paper sheets that had all the fucking barcodes written out on them. Go and find the item with that barcode based off a vague description of the shirt and some bullshit color.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a reddish, greenish, black.
No, it's fuck, what's like I'm trying to think of the dumbest fucking color name that I've seen at work so far. Because there are some pretty stupid ones. And it always sounds like the person who, like, they kind of grew up, but they were never told no or never told that they were wrong, so every time they, like, came across a color, they just came up with a new name for it. you know?
Uh-huh.
See, the problem is that is literally the case with all colors.
Well, yeah, but like,
Oh, I can go off on a tangent on colors. This will be fun.
oh no.
And how magenta is bullshit. And in fact, so is yellow.
No, it's not even colors like yellow or fucking.
No, I'm saying that yellow, we can't actually see it. We can see red, green, and blue. Yellow doesn't exist to our eyes. Our eyes just go like, yeah, that's probably yellow. And then it just makes up some bullshit that we see.
Huh.
So
Okay.
everybody thinks that their hair is orange when you try to make it yellow. Coming from the hairstylist, that's a lot of my problems when I used to be in school. Because colors don't manipulate the same. And when you try to tone somebody's hair, in order to get caramel colors or yellow in somebody's hair instead of silver, when you poured it into the bottle, it was orange. But people would be like, I don't want orange in my hair. I want yellow. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then they see the bottle and they're like, you're not touching me with that. That's orange. And I'm like, it washes out.
Okay, bye, Hayden.
Okay. So yeah, we're probably just gonna have to wait for Hayden to get back now.
I'm hearing Discord notifications. What happened?
Hayden DC'd.
I see that he DC'd. I'm not sure if his internet went or if his computer just decided to say, alright, I'm gonna head out.
I think it might have been his internet because he disconnected from.
Yeah, he's entirely offline now. But it might have just been that his computer shut off because, you know. Hey, Connor, it looks like it's finally not just you who has blue screening problems.
Woo!
He said, keep it going. I think my shit died.
Okay, well, I'm pretty much just scrolling through my through the fucking website of my job trying to find the most bullshit color name I can think of. Yes, here's a good one. Would any of you like to tell me what color melon heather would be?
Heather?
I'm gonna say
Melon
a light
heather.
gold. A very light gold.
Probably red, somewhere in the reds.
Angel's correct. It's a very light red. Mills, would you have guessed that at all based on the
No.
name?
If I had more to it than that, maybe.
Yeah. Let's see.
You
let's
want to
see.
know why I put that together? Or why I thought of it?
Why?
Because there's a movie plus a musical called Heathers. And it was the 80s version of Mean Girls before Mean Girls was created.
Okay.
And the top 3 bitches' names were Heather. All of them were named Heather.
Oh yeah. I've seen this movie actually.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
top bitch wore red.
Okay,
So
yeah,
that's
I remember that.
red plus melon, so that was like watermelon.
Okay, here's another one. Formula One. What color is that?
That's not a color.
Yeah. What color is it, motherfucker?
Blue.
No.
Oh.
Mills, would
You
you like
say
to
it's
take a
multiple
guess?
colors.
No, it's red.
Oh, it is still red?
It's solid red.
That honestly makes no sense.
Yeah, you're fucking telling me, dude. So like when the system at work goes down and we have to like pull out the fucking pad and paper, usually we have like a picture of the item on like our fucking devices that we pull shit with. We don't get those with the paper, so we just literally just have to go off the color name. So you see fucking Formula One and you gotta find it, dude. Don't know what the fuck it looks like, but you gotta find Formula One, motherfucker.
Google it.
With what?
Your phone.
He's upset now because he realized he could have done that entire time.
No, I actually couldn't.
No, you couldn't use data? Why not?
Because I didn't want to pay for more data at that time.
Oh no.
And I was already using it for Spotify.
You dumbass.
Let's see, I'm trying to find more bullshit colors that we can just fuck around with while we wait for Hayden to get back.
Y'all saw my Snapchat story where I tried to go to Hobby Lobby and their paints were fucked too, right?
I think so, but remind me.
Their pink was a light orange. Or what they labeled was a light orange. Where are the other ones? Yeah, so their pink was an orange. The pink paint that I would have actually taken was called purple red. And then their hot pink was called light magenta.
Hmm.
And that's not how colors work. If anybody saw it earlier when I was looking down, you know what I found the other day that I've been playing with?
Your dick?
What
Wish.
the fuck? Okay, acorn.
Brown.
Light brown.
It's honestly more of a gold. Bless.
Oh, I mean, gold is honestly just a mixture of brown and yellow.
Yeah. Oh, I think one of my favorites, honestly, is some of the makeups that some of the makeup products, like some of the names for their shit.
Yeah.
They got some weird ass names, dude. Let me tell you that.
Yeah. We like our fun names with makeup.
Oh yeah, because nothing says a fun time like walking up to a counter and being like, "Hey, can I get that lipstick in the color orgasm?"
Yeah.
Whose idea was that?
I'm gonna guess that's a glistening pink.
I have no idea.
Aw.
I've never actually seen any of the lipstick colors. I just go up to the people at the counters and I'm like, "Hey, I'm looking for this lipstick. Can you get it for me? Because I have no idea what the fuck you guys do back here."
I mean, you've never seen the Better Than Sex mascara?
Oh no, I've seen those.
Yeah.
Is the mascara really better than sex though? Like, I'm not a mascara kind of person, so I wouldn't know.
To be quite honest, no, it's not. I would not say that mascara is actually that worth it.
Oh, okay, false advertising then.
Mm-hmm. People probably fight me over that, but I don't think it's worth it. And also, Mills, what did you say you thought that color of that lipstick would be?
A glistening pink.
About right. It's a baby pink.
Huh. The more you know.
That he nicely answers you and not me. Wow. Has anybody played Sonic Advance 3?
No.
No.
Oh, his internet is down. Fuck.
Completely.
Yikes. I was worried that was the case.
I'm gonna ask him how long it'll be, and depending on what he says, we'll either keep going or we'll just cut the recording here and then start it back up when he gets back. So while I wait for an answer from Hayden, Mills, I'm gonna ask you. Oh shit!
Man, the one time we started doing the podcast.
No, it's okay, dude. I just pretty much just played Guess the Colors with Angel and Mills while you were gone.
Okay.
Yeah. So real quick, I got to quiz you on one of these. What color is Formula One?
Formula One?
Yeah.
Dude, I always imagine Formula One. It just sounds to me that sounds like a Mountain Dew Live Wire orange.
No, it's red. It's just red.
You asked me what color it is. Was I supposed to imagine it or tell you to feel like red? Because that was the first thing I thought of. But I was like, no. Actually, when I think deeper, is this what you guys were like? Hey, guess a color. Blue. Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, Mel and Heather. Let's go with that one.
Oh yeah, Mel and Heather. What color is that one, Hayden?
Like a green?
No.
Like a greenish gray? What the fuck is that?
It's a light red. It's like a bright red. Like almost neon, you know? Yeah, same, dude.
This your job?
Yeah, we usually get pictures of the item when we're like picking this shit. But when the system goes down, we have to go back to the fucking pen and paper system. We don't get pictures. So you pull an item, it's like, hey, the color for this thing is fucking melon heather. Go find it.
That's just stupid. Your
Yeah.
job is stupid.
I mean, I get paid to scavenger hunt, and I don't really do shit, so, you know.
Shit's great.
Yeah, I guess. So that's your tragic ass work story.
No, that was really just kind of like some bullshit that I've had to deal with. I've got better work stories.
I don't know. Go. I'm out of the order in which we are going in now. That
Mills was in the process of telling it. No, he just finished telling his story, right?
Yeah, you had just started.
Yeah, so that was pretty much it. Like what I just said to Hayden was like the rest of it. I've got better ones.
You've got better ones? Oh no.
I have many.
Oh, we know.
You do have many stories.
Yeah, I have many a story. And I
Okay.
have a variety of work ones now too.
Okay, so I want to tell like at least one more. So,
Good.
do you guys want to hear? You guys want to hear the story of the Knight of Many Glasses or Cake Man?
Cake Man. I want to hear Cake Man.
Night of the Many Glasses. I think I know.
Yeah, I've told the Knight of Many Glasses before.
I don't think you told the cake. I want to do the cake.
I might have told the Cake Man story, but anyway, I haven't told on the podcast, so here we go. So first job, I was working at fucking Cold Stone, and if you've never been there, they sell these fucking ice cream cakes. They've got like the small ones, and then like the large ones. I think the price is like $45 for the small, and then $55 for the large one.
It's a lot of money for a cake.
Yeah, but I mean, we also like the process of making the cakes. I can kind of see why they price it the way they do. It's a pain in the ass. But anyway, one day I'm working, pretty slow day. This guy comes in, he wants to buy a large cake. No big deal. Ring him up, tell him the price, $55. Dude pulls out a fucking fat stack of gift cards, and I'm just kind of like, all right, well, dude's probably just got like a lot of gift cards, doesn't know which one works. Fuck it, let's go. So
Each one had like $5, didn't it?
So he hands me one, and I swipe it. Doesn't go through. Swipe it again. Doesn't go through. I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta just like fucking enter this one manually. Go through that whole process, takes like 5 minutes because the system is slow as shit. Goes through. $5. I'm like, all right, well, fuck.
This is the game this douchebag is gonna fucking play.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so he's probably just like getting rid of a couple, and he's gonna pay the rest on a card. Hands me another one. Swipe it, doesn't go through. Fucking swipe a couple more times, still doesn't go through. Enter it manually. Goes through. $5 more.
I knew it. I knew it.
So I look at the total, look at the gift card in my hand, look at the fucking stack this guy's got. Finally put two and two together and realize I'm going to be sitting here for the next half hour manually entering gift cards.
Jesus.
This is also the only register we have, by the way.
Oh, that just makes it even worse.
Yeah. Like, normally it wouldn't be much of a problem because you just, like, swipe the gift card, it goes through, no big deal. Problem was, the fucking strip reader was busted that day.
Fantastic.
So, you know, gotta enter all of the gift cards manually. Takes like 5 minutes minimum to enter the gift cards because of how slow the fucking system is. You put one number in wrong, you gotta do the entire process over again.
Good job, Cold Stone.
Yeah, there was so much bullshit at that job, dude.
This is honestly making me want ice cream, though.
Please. Dude, if you're gonna get ice cream, get it from anywhere that's not Cold Stone. Shit is so overpriced.
Oh, I know. I don't go to Cold Stone.
God, like, my ex, we used to go to Cold Stone. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't understand how they can charge me $4 for like a couple spoonfuls of ice cream. This is
Yeah,
I
dude,
mean, it's
like,
good ice cream. It's just overpriced.
oh, ice cream's
Yeah.
good ice cream though.
like
Oh,
my
that
manager,
is a
my
good
manager
point.
had us like he told us that we couldn't sell kids like the kid size to people unless they had a child with them.
No.
Yeah, I didn't do that shit. I was still like, if somebody orders a fucking kids, I'm gonna give it to him. Like, I don't give a fuck, dude.
Oh, I didn't. Where do you have it legally written that, oh, unless you're a child, you cannot order the kid small? I was like, dude, I walked into your shop. Give me what I order. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
Like-
like I think the main reason that he did it that way was because technically the kid sizes were supposed to be for like 12 and under, but people were like realizing that the prices are kind of bullshit and just ordering like a kid's size because, you know, it's a decent amount of ice cream and it's pretty fucking cheap.
Yeah, it's like to me that's the It was like I always get kids because that's like just the perfect amount because I don't have much of a sweet tooth. So if I got like, oh yeah, no, we're not going to serve that to you. Okay, I'm walking out.
I don't fucking blame you, dude. Only reason I ate the ice cream there was because I got it for free and my boss never realized that I was taking a lot more than I probably should have.
Real nice.
Thank you.
Dude, it's an entry level job. Who cares?
Yeah, I was getting paid minimum wage. I wasn't making anywhere near enough to deal with that bullshit.
You right. You right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the fucking cake man story.
So how long did it take you to actually enter in all those gift cards? 30
I
minutes?
want to say I was there for like a solid like 40 minutes entering gift card codes.
And he was just standing there, like, oh, okay.
He was just standing there, dude. He had zero problems with what was going on.
That guy's a douchebag. If you do that, if you go in with 1 million gift cards, you're a douchebag.
Yeah.
Like
I
you
mean,
can go
Connor,
in.
if I ever ran into you working at a Cold Stone, I'd probably pull that shit too, just because it's you.
I mean, I can understand if it was somebody I knew that just wanted to fuck with me, I would have probably laughed about that. This was just some guy coming in, buying a whole ass ice cream cake with gift cards that I don't even know where he got them from. Like, who collects
Got it.
$60 worth of $5 gift cards, man? What the fuck?
Dude's been waiting for like 10 years. Like, finally, I have them all.
And finally buy myself a birthday cake.
He's like, what? This gonna take 40 minutes? Great. I'll stand right here. I've waited 5 years for this. Oh, you think I'm gonna back out now? No, keep going. Take an hour if you want. I'm here all day.
About halfway through, just like, hey, cake looks like it's starting to melt a little. You mind putting it in the freezer? Motherfucker.
This motherfucker.
Real.
I get tilted whenever I think about it, dude. Like, honestly.
He did it to you specifically on purpose. Somewhere in your life, you bump into somebody walking down the street, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to find where this kid works and just pay for it with gift cards.
He
You
was
know?
your karmic rebalance from somewhere. So, I have a work story,
Okay, what you
and it's the only job I've ever no called, no showed out of.
Okay.
I don't know if I probably told you guys the story. I don't know if I've told it on the podcast yet, but I worked at this shoe store called Clark's, and I was a salesman. I got commission that was abysmal for the job. It was like, honestly, I could say the worst job I've ever fucking worked in my life. Like, from the bottom of my heart, everything about that was the worst job ever. So when I got the job, I was told, oh yeah, you're going to be working with some college kids, so hours are going to be short, but you'll get more hours later. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I go through training, whatnot, and I'm at a point where, oh, I just noticed my computer glass. Okay, whatever. I'm getting called out more and more for work, like, oh, business is slow. You can come in an hour later, come in 30 minutes late, come in an hour later, come in, leave 30 minutes early, like that sort of shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
My schedule was seriously only 10 hours a week, which was like, dude, I'm making zero money. Like 10 hours. Essentially, I'm bringing home like, it felt like, I think like only like $100 a paycheck, like every 2 weeks. Like that's ridiculous.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was a horrible job. So, this one day, my manager, she calls me and she's like, hey, go ahead and come in 45 minutes later. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll be there in like after 45 minutes. So I was looking at the clock and I must have counted wrong because when I left the house, I'm driving and I'm like 3/4 of the way there. And I get a call from my manager. She's like, hey, you coming in today? I'm like,
Bruh.
yeah. I'm like, yeah, what's up? And she's like, oh, well, you were supposed to be in like 10 minutes ago. And I was like, I must have got my times mixed up. I'll be there. Okay, well, we need you here. And I'm saying, I literally said, I'm around the corner. I'll be there. So I go in, and it was like, there was nothing going on. Like, oh, you were supposed to be here 10 minutes ago after we told you to come in 45 minutes late. Like, 45 minutes, 55 minutes, who gives a fuck? You obviously didn't need me anyway. So I walk in, and I'm just like, I'm pissed. Just because, like, this is some horse shit. I go back, look at the schedule for like, okay, what are my hours next week? I'm working 8.
Total?
8 total for an entire week. At that point, I was like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So I sourly finish up my shift, walk out, like I clock out, and I'm just fucking gone. Like I get in my car, I drive home, and it's like, I'm never going back to that place. I go into my phone, block all the numbers, block all that shit, and the next day, no call, no show. And I'm just like, no, I'm fucking done. I'm not working this shitty ass job. Like, oh yeah, you'll get more hours. Yeah, really? Is that why I'm on 8 now? And you're gonna bust my balls over me not being in? Like, oh, I'm 10 minutes late to, like, don't tell me to come. This is just like so infuriating to me. Like, don't come in for, let's just say an hour. Oh, you're 10 minutes late to your shift that was supposed to start an hour and 10 minutes ago. Like, fuck you. And the fact that you're going to just like keep me on board for 8 hours, why don't you just like, I don't know, kick me in the nuts and tear up my wallet and save me the fucking trouble. It is not worth dealing. And there was a thing too. It was a shoe store. So we had like one half of the store dedicated to men's shit and the other half dedicated to women's shit. There was only ever women in there. And it was always these old, bitchy, dumb broads. Like, I understand, like, what's an old woman's name?
Nancy.
Meredith. Like, I understand, Meredith, that you're 85 and you got bunions the size of a fucking roll of quarters.
Jesus.
So it's hard for you to find shoes. I get that. But no, we don't have a 7 3/4. Oh, well, 7.5 is too tight and 8 is too big. And I need it in this specific shoe in this specific color. Well, we don't have those. Well, can you go look again? No. You know why? Because you're wasting my fucking time with your existence.
Jesus.
You can go buy your shoes. There's going to be a van outside. Buy your shoes, walk outside, get in that van, and they're going to take you to the glue factory to turn you into something useful. So that was the worst job I've ever worked at, and just absolutely insulting. That's like, I'm going to waste my time, my energy to go to a job where I'm only working 4 hours a day. Like, fuck that. And then I found manufacturing later in life, and I like manufacturing stuff. So that is one of my bullshit work stories. And I'll think of more later, but I'm going to pass the anger torch on to someone else.
Well, actually, hold on. I might have just missed this, but when you were scheduled for fucking 8 hours, was that was that one shift, or was that spread out across like a number of fucking days?
Oh, that was like 2 or 3 days.
Bro.
Oh god. No.
So
no.
I'm waking up, I'm getting ready, I'm wasting my gas to get there, to work for like 2 hours or 3 hours, and then waste more gas to go home for like, what was I making at the time? I think I was making $10 an hour at the time for what, $30? Oh, let's go ahead and take out a third of that in taxes. So I'm wasting, like, seriously, like $10 in gas for $20.
Yeah, that's just not worth it. Like, when I worked at Cold Stone, they'd sometimes just tell me, like, hey, we don't need you to come in for, like, about, like, an hour or two, but I'd still end up, like, having to go in and working, like, 4 hours minimum.
Right.
But, no, like, there were also some days where they would just be like, hey, we just don't need you to come in today.
Right, and they have those days. But when it's almost every single shift you're getting sent home early or getting called off for a couple hours, it's, oh, we're over labor. I don't give a fuck. You're either gonna pay me or you're not. And if you're not gonna pay me, I'm going home. And no, $20 is not a paycheck. Get the fuck out, Clarks.
Oh shit, name dropping over here.
Dude,
I already name dropped Cold Stone, so like
and I name dropped Panera.
Dude, I will name drop Clarks to anyone that will listen, so I can say, hey, if you guys ever want to boycott a company for just making horrible shit decisions for employees, I mean, their shoes aren't bad. I got like a stylish pair that I haven't taken care of, so they're all like fucked up now. But it's just, go literally anywhere else. Go to DSW, get you a pair there for cheaper.
Hey, Nordstrom sells shoes.
Yeah, everyone else sells shoes. Go to fucking Payless.
Get up Goodwill.
Yeah, there's where all 80-year-old women with fucked up feet need to shop. Because you can find some nice memory foam plastic shoes for $10, and you'll use them for the rest of your life till you die, which is next year. But that job single-handedly it intensified my hatred for old bitchy women. Like, of course, they're just worthy to hate anyway. But when you're looking for the most obscure shoe we have, in the most obscure size we have, in the most obscure color we have, and when we don't have it, I don't give a shit. That's why if I ever have to go back to a customer service job or anything like that, I'm gonna get fired, guaranteed. Because I just have zero tolerance for other people anymore. I don't have.
Just get a job doing what I'm doing, and you don't have to talk to people.
Exactly, and all the jobs I've had that I don't talk to people and I get to work by myself, I've loved them.
Mm-hmm.
So if ever I'm in dire straits and I'm working at like another sales position, or like some old bitchy woman is coming at me like, you need to help me find this product, and said like, oh yes ma'am, right away, I'll be like, it's not my fucking problem.
Yeah,
like, go ask someone who gives a shit, lady. Fuck yourself, I quit. Welcome to Hayden Gets Heated.
That is.
I feel like that's just
that is a pretty common occurrence. Yeah.
I'm just. If any of you out there have ever had that experience, you know why I'm so angry.
Oh yeah.
If any of you have ever had to deal with the general population, you know why I'm angry. If any of you have seen another person in your life that's not in your family, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, before we move on real quick, I want to call out Angel for playing the fucking Sims while we're recording this.
Yeah.
You're calling out Angel for playing The Sims.
Oh, I'm getting you, motherfucker. I was gonna call you out too. Angel's playing The Sims. Mills is over here playing fucking Counter-Strike.
Should I start screen sharing it?
Please don't.
We could be like one of those YouTube update videos where it's just a guy on one of those CSGO maps sliding around and slashing the knife in the air, and it's just like, hey guys, just making a quick update video. You're probably wondering where I've been. Well, there's been a lot of things going on, like me being a lazy fuck and not having a consistent upload schedule. I've been having a lot of mental health issues, mainly the fact that I don't like to get out of bed before midday. Content's going to be coming back soon. I'm bringing back vlogging, those guys.
You didn't have to call me out like that.
I wasn't calling you out.
I know.
Didn't mean to, but we know damn well.
Hey Connor, how's that streaming going?
I don't know, Mills. How's Weldon School?
That face says everything. Weldon School's great, man. Get to play with fire for 5 days every day. For 5 hours every day.
Angel.
How does it feel that Shadow's outbeaten you now in recently streaming?
Oh, what, instead of like 3 viewers, he's got 4?
No, I'm not talking about viewers. I'm talking about the fact that he's actually been streaming.
Yeah, but how many people are actually watching him?
Me.
Yeah, only you, and you just do it to bully him.
I don't bully him the entire time.
There we go. Bait and you bully the entire time. Like, dude, you can be out on the lake every single day fishing every single day, but it doesn't matter if you don't catch a fish.
Still fishing.
Hey, a bad day fishing is better than a good day at work.
True.
Speaking of work, Angel, you got any stories?
Nice.
Oh boy, does she.
Yeah.
She'd have
Which
many.
ones do y'all want to hear? Was being a hairstylist at a school, working at a haunted house, or working in a Halloween store?
I don't know. Say a bullshit one, I guess.
We've all talked about just dumbass shit that we've had to deal with, so I guess Halloween store, since that's where you had to deal with the most dumb shit.
Okay. So then I'll make that one a quick and overall one.
Oh boy.
Of basically the fact. So, I mean, y'all know this, but I'll just tell this entire story anyway because it's funnier putting it all together and seeing
sure.
how insane it was completely.
Mm.
So, my idea, since I was probably in middle school, was to always wind up working at a spirit store because that's always been my favorite store. I get home decor in there instead of even just Halloween decorations because I love that shit.
Is Spirit a nationwide thing, or is that a select state thing?
No,
I think
it's a nationwide.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, for anyone who doesn't know, Spirit, it's not a permanent place. They just take over the corpses of out of business stores, set up shop for a couple months, then dip.
Yeah. I actually went inside one of the ones that took over Toys R Us this year. That was the saddest thing I've ever done.
Do it remind you of your own mortality, Angel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so finally, this year, technically last year, October of 2019, yeah, I finally got a call back of being able to actually work at one. And so, mind you, I got this call at the end of August. And they were she basically ran through trying to tell me what I was going to wind up doing. But she was like, we're starting building the store next week. Do you want to come in and help? And I was like, yeah, I guess. Not quite thinking. I thought they meant we're going to start getting the inventory of everything in. Do you want to come help start putting the pegs up on the wall and putting the costumes up and shit? And I was like, yeah, of course. I'm good at organizing. I know how to do that type of stuff. I'm down. So she was like, okay, we start in a couple of days. Make sure to wear old clothing, heavy boots, and shit like that. So I was like, okay, get there. And the entire store is completely empty. And it suddenly clicked that I was going to be putting walls up, the entire store. And I was like,
they hired you on to be a carpenter.
Yeah. Which they should honestly tell, in my opinion, they should ask you more questions of hey, can you pick up heavy shit? Hey, are you able to put walls together? Because
hey, are you over 4'5"? Standard things.
Yeah. Well, it is definitely harder when you're 5 foot and they're telling you to put 12-foot walls up. It's a little bit counteractive.
Nice.
But so, she told me all this. The next 2 people that walked in are 2 girls that are maybe 3 inches taller than me, but way less than me even. And we were supposed to have 2 guys come in. One guy dropped out. The other guy didn't show up till 4 hours after he was supposed to be there. So this entire morning, it was me, 2 other very small girls, and the manager that had hired me to start taking walls out of a 20-foot fucking truck and start standing them up and moving them around the room. So that was the first 8-hour day. It took us 3 days to do this, and we were already behind schedule because, again, mind you, 3 girls that don't necessarily lift 4 times their weight and 15 feet times their height in objects. So we finally got that all up. Then next came the 5 fucking trucks full of storage, not even storage, of inventory that we needed to start putting up onto the walls. And the walls are coordinated. So all we got was a piece of paper, and they're like, here's how the walls are going to have to be like designed when you start hanging things. So you have to do it like that, and it can't change. Our store's like measurements were in between the measurements of what was giving to all the stores of how things were supposed to look. So if you had a large store, the setup looked different than if you went into a store that was a medium. We were in between a small to a medium store, so our walls already had to get creative for how we were supposed to put things up. So then in having to put the pegs up on the wall, that was also already going to have to get creative. And they were yelling at us that we were doing it wrong.
Oh, no.
And I was like, okay. So now we're 4 days into it. We're 2 days out of actually opening the store. And me and the 3 other girls are like, we don't have a manager yet. Are we going to start finding a manager? And our boss is like, I'm looking towards it. We'll find somebody. We'll get somebody. It's fine. Till then, we need somebody else to work as assistant manager. And one of the girls that was there had already worked like 2 years previous, and she had already become an assistant manager, so she just started filling in the space. So we're still trying to open the store. Finally, first day that the store is open, I haven't been there for 3 days because that's when Phoenix came here.
Sup?
So, yeah. So I was like, I'm not working those. Which, mind you, my boss was like, that's fine. And I was like, are you sure? And before I went to leave, I was like, hey, I've never worked a cash register before. You want to teach me how these ones work so I know, and I'm ready to start as soon as I get back. And she was like, no, it's a day's worth of training. I don't have time to do it right now because we're still setting everything up. You'll be fine to learn once you get back. And I said, okay. First day I get back. As soon as I walk in, she pulls me to the side and lets me know, asking me if I wanted to become an assistant manager. And I was like, never done that before. Don't know what that.
I remember this job.
Yeah. And she was like, it's gonna basically be what you already do now, but you're gonna be opening and closing. So you're gonna get your own set of keys. You'll have to unlock and open the door, turn the lights on, turn all the computers on, whatever else. And I said, okay, are you gonna teach me how to do that? She said, no, I'm gonna have you opening and closing with like 2 other people that were already our assistant managers. And she's like, they'll teach you what to do. So that night was my first night learning how to close with the one dude who was the one that was already 4 hours late to trying to help us build. And is just fucking stoned out in his car most of the time when he was working with us. Yeah. Also, he was like prone to just disappearing and never showing up again. It was a small ass store. So I don't know where the fuck he went where I couldn't find him. But he would just be gone.
Dude like slithered up into the ceiling tiles or through the pipes or something.
Oh, dude, once you work at a place for long enough, you find the best hiding spots.
You really do.
Like,
but
I've got a couple at my current job where I just dip out to every now and then.
Nice.
Back rooms, bro, they're hell of a place.
Oh yeah, right? Hiding behind boxes is fun too. But so I was like, are you gonna at least give me a couple of hints onto like how to close a store? And she was like, no, you're fine. There's a piece of paper right here that'll show you how to close down the computers. Just read over that.
And I was reading, like, your strong suit.
Yeah, I'm like, sure, I got it with my dyslexic ass. We'll be able to do this. It's fine.
Hell yeah.
So she's like, I have to run to one of my other stores. You got this. You're fine. Call me if you need anything. I'll talk to you later. So I said, okay. She went running out of the store. Mind you, again, I never learned how to work the computers yet. I've never learned how to work the register. I don't know how to check somebody out. Don't know how to close the store. Nothing. The dude comes running up to me from that night and goes, so I don't know if our boss has talked to you about this, but you're going to be working the register tonight. And I was like, okay, well, she never taught me how to do it. And he was like, it's easy to learn. It's fine. You got it. And I was like, no, can you teach me how to do it? And he's like, nah, I gotta be putting stuff up in the back. It's just read over the paper. You'll learn how to work it. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So nobody taught me how to work the register. I taught myself how to work it with the first person that came up to check out. I was just like reading the screen and I'm like, okay, sure. So yeah.
This button
Did
does
that.
something.
Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, sure. The only way that I learned was the day before. Another chick who wasn't even working at my store at all, she was just brought in to help for a couple minutes. She forgot how to work the register from the year before, completely fucked up for 15 minutes straight trying to check somebody out. And from her mistakes was how I got the idea of how it might work.
Mm-hmm.
That was about it. So yeah, that was one night as an assistant manager, learning how to close the store and learning how to work a register. Come in the next morning, my boss is there again, pulls me over to the side, and she's like, so I think you know what's coming. To which I started getting scared because I thought I did something wrong, and I was like, it was only my first time closing the store. I thought I did everything right, the best that I could, without anybody giving me any fucking explanations for anything. And I was like, yeah. She was like, do you want to become store manager?
Oh no.
And I was like, sorry? And she was like, well, you're good at what you do so far. You've been picking up really well. I don't know. But she was like, you've been doing really good, and I think you'd be okay with this. Do you want to become store manager? And I was like, I don't know. I'm like, I do catch on pretty easily, but you have to teach me what to do. I'm not going to go into this again not knowing fucking anything. And she's like, no, of course not. I'm going to be right next to you the entire time. I will walk you through everything. I will teach you what you need to do. And you can always call me when you need me. And I was like, okay, just fully trusting and relying on it again because I'm stupid. And so she completely explains everything to me of on top of being an assistant manager, what I would have to be doing now and what I would have access to and being allowed to do, and that I would have to start making bank runs and doing a bunch of passwords and hiring people, and if I'd have to fire people and marking inventory and marking damages. And I was like, okay, I'm like, and you're going to teach me how to do all of these, right? And she's like, yep, we're going to go over it over the next couple of days. And I said, okay. So then she starts going through the process of turning my name into store manager from assistant manager, logging me into all the other shit that I need to do, everything else. We'll get done with that. Right at the end, she goes, oh, by the way, I'm not going to be here for 2 weeks. I'm sorry, what? And she's like, yeah, I have a lot of other shit to do at my other stores, and I'm pretty sure you got this handled, so I'm not going to be here for 2 weeks, but you can call me if you ever have questions. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what? Yeah, sure, okay. So then she walked away, and I started running a store for 4 weeks straight without her being there at all. She came back once, yelled at me because I didn't hire anybody else than what we already had yet. And I was like, you never taught me how to hire people. I don't know how to do that. And she's like, it's 2 buttons. Pulled up the thing, and she's like, here's a list of people. Start making phone calls. I was like, okay.
Okay, sure.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I heard that too, Mills.
Mills.
But so yeah. And then the fun fact was when I finally quit, I wasn't feeling well, and I was throwing up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Didn't have to open the store till 10 o'clock in the morning, right? And I thought it would have been reasonable to have texted her at 7 saying, hey, I'm on my way to the hospital. I've been getting sick all night. I need to go get medication, and I need to lay down. I'm not coming into work today.
Mm-hmm.
Believing that, that was the smart thing to do.
Right. As you
Apparently it was not. Because as a store manager, I was supposed to have people already set up to cover for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
at 3:00 in the morning, when I now know I'm sick, I'm supposed to be calling people immediately to cover for me.
No.
Yeah, I didn't see those messages until like 12:00 in the afternoon because I came home. I came home from the hospital and I just went to bed because I'm like, I'm not worrying with this shit. I'm like, I'm sick, literally dying, and I'm tired. Fuck it. So I laid back down. She sent me a bunch of very rude text messages and telling me that I should have already had this figured out and I should have known that I was sick and I should have started having people cover for me.
Bitch, what?
Yeah.
Like,
To
for a
which I-
fucking seasonal job, get real.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's how my first manager at fucking Nordstrom used to be.
Douchebag.
People are dicks, dude.
She was
Seriously.
really mean. She bitched about everybody. I knew once I was going to leave that she was going to be doing the same shit about me, but I was like, you know what, whatever, because I was already done. There was somebody that's a store manager at one of her other places that has been doing it for 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, a couple of years ago, she has 2 kids, and she's like 20. Her babysitter quit on her, so she no longer had somebody that would take care of her kids while she was at work. So she had to stop coming to work. Yeah, our boss didn't really like that. She should have had somebody to take care of her kids. Obviously, she should have been asking family or something to take care of them because the job was more important.
Yeah. This girl I worked with at Coldstone got fired because she called out because she had to take her dog to the vet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I started
Minimum wage
arguing
jobs,
with
am
her
I right?
again. Huh?
Minimum wage jobs, am I right?
Fucking seasonal.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Am I right?
Minimum wage, seasonal. They're
Oh, the
great.
pinnacle, dude! Cream of the crop, top of the
And
peak.
by great, I mean GRATE because they just grate on your skin.
Shut the fuck up! I hate you so much for that.
But at the same time, you love it. And the more you think about it, don't you? It's so perfect.
Fuck off.
Oh yeah, so I tried messaging her later, and she like basically was trying to ask me when I had an ETA on getting better,
Oh,
like
of course.
willing to come in later that day, or if I would be better by the next day. And I was like,
Fuck you.
yeah. I said, no. To which then I was like, all of this is stress induced. And I was like, I've been getting sick because I was, mind you, okay, so to show you the math here of what this is, so since it's a seasonal job, technically I don't necessarily get overtime at all. I wasn't getting paid for overtime. I was supposed to be working 40 hours a week. My first 2 weeks there, I worked 55 hours. Yeah, I was like in 10.5 hours over, way over, just much over. Started getting mad at. That's when she yelled at me for not hiring people because she was like, "You're not supposed to be taking all of these hours on yourself." And I was like, "Well, I don't know. You never taught me how to hire people, and I don't have anybody else working." Because everybody else already had like 2 jobs. I was the only, and the other person that just got hired had a child, so she could only come in the morning. She couldn't work nights. So like nobody could come in. I was the only person that was completely open. So I was like, all right, I'll just be here to open and close and then fit everybody else's schedules around that. So yeah. And then at the end, I told her that I was all stress induced and I couldn't take it anymore. And she was like, so what, are you quitting? And I'm like, yeah. I'll see you tomorrow and I'll throw you my keys. And then she texted me later that day and she's like, I'm already teaching somebody else to be manager. You need to bring your keys in now. And I was like, okay. So I looking as shitty as I did, went in and she basically tried to yell at me saying that I didn't look sick. And I was like, I'm pale as shit. You don't get any paler than this. You start to look green. So.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mhm.
You don't look sick. Whatever.
She
Yeah.
told all the workers that afterwards.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, my first, so at Coldstone, my boss, there was one summer where I had to get fucking surgery to fix fix some shit with my nose. It fucking deviated septum, had to get that shit fixed.
Mhm.
So, gotta take time off for that, right?
No, not allowed. Unacceptable.
well,
Just
no,
suffer
no.
through it.
No,
Quit
he
being
he
a
was
bitch.
he was a generous man. He let you take time off if it was for a legitimate reason, like, surgery or surgery.
Surgery.
Pretty much, if it wasn't something that you weren't being medically induced into, you couldn't really take time off for it, or schedule time off. You couldn't schedule time off for your birthday because that's not important enough, brother.
Brother.
Yeah. But
I'll tell you something, brother.
But surgery, yeah, he can understand that. He's a generous man. So I asked the doctor, hey, so how much time do you think I'm gonna have to take off of work for the recovery period? And he's like, oh no, I think minimum maybe 3 or 4 days after your surgery you should be fine to go back in. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. So I scheduled the time off. About maybe a day or two after the surgery, I'm like, wow, I really don't think I can go into work in 2 days. So I text my boss, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna need 2 more days off to fucking recover from this. He didn't like that.
Of course
I
not.
didn't like that.
Yeah,
Where
no,
was this again?
This was Coldstone.
Oh.
Yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
you only said you would need 2 or 3 days after the surgery. And I was like, yeah, that's what the doctor told me, but things happen, dude. Sometimes it takes longer. This is where we are now. I can't come in because I medically can't.
See, he told you minimal. You have to plan for 2 or 3 days after that.
Yeah. Yeah. I learned that one the hard way.
Something I've learned, doctors' predictions on what people's recovery times are is usually not very good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because they do things off of an average, but you see their averages, they typically skew it towards the faster recovery time so that people feel better.
Yeah. Even when I did go in, I still probably shouldn't have, but at that point I was kind of like, well, I can't really call out again because if I do, I'm going to get fired and I kind of need the money. So yeah, I went in. I after I was on my feet for over 2 hours, my head was fucking spinning.
Oh my.
Shit was great, dude.
Yeah, unless you want blood in the ice cream, boss.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on, but every time I looked at the color white, it would just slowly start turning yellow. So I don't know what was going on there, but I wasn't even on pain meds at that point. It was just, I don't know what was going on. Anyway, we're over an hour, so do we want to start wrapping this up, or?
Yeah. Do we have any closing arguments, closing thoughts?
I guess.
Fuck minimum wage.
There. Okay. Anyone else? Because I'll do mine very last.
Okay. Well, in that case, this actually is a story that I learned.
Oh wait,
when
it's
I
a
went
story.
to Panera
Fuck.
Just to get food afterwards.
Yo, Mills, if this is a
isn't
story, give me a second. I'll be right back.
Oh, motherfucker.
Hey, fuck you.
Taking a fat shit.
Fuck you, coward.
Fuck me yourself, coward.
He didn't say go fuck yourself, so I couldn't say that. I really wanted to. That is my go-to response whenever someone says go fuck yourself. God damn, he's really taking his sweet ass time, isn't he?
I don't know, maybe dude had like a cup of coffee. Shit.
John's not playing CSGO tonight, or CSGO. D&D, hello? Where am I?
Of course not.
Where are you?
I don't know.
Should figure that out.
I should.
Think
So
he's
we're
got
doing
his
the
phone
one-
in his pocket.
So we're doing the one shot as like a party of 3.
Yeah. Mills, dick off the desk.
Huh?
Hey, get your dick off the desk.
Oh no, that wasn't my dick. This is my dick.
I knew it was gonna be loud. I just didn't expect the solidness. Meaty whack. All chuckle.
What the fuck did I just come back to?
Meaty whack.
What?
I just had to get. I was tapping my desk with my fingers, so I just had to get my dick off the desk.
Oh no.
Okay, but no, my story is. This was after I had quit Panera.
Okay.
I had a couple friends there that would still give me my employee discount, so I was getting shit like half off.
Hell yeah.
So it's like that's still good, cheap food.
True.
So I was going there, and I got a story from a coworker.
Mm-hmm.
And so I learned that at one of these nights, there's the main fridge, and then there's the baker's fridge. That is like all of like the made pastries that just haven't been baked yet.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a different temperature and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
No one really goes in the baker's fridge. But I learned that
Oh.
one day after I quit, there were 2 people missing during closing. A boy and a girl.
Oh.
And the baker's fridge was locked, and people started gathering. I was like, what the hell's going on? People started knocking on it. And then the boy came out, and there was like, oh, okay, there he is. And then the girl came out, I was like, oh!
Whoa!
So this is the story that I heard afterwards. Yeah, no, and I heard this story from the boy in that situation. I was like, yeah, we were doing it.
Pastries
course
weren't
you
the
were.
only thing getting filled that night, if you know what I mean.
Different kind of feeling, you know what I'm saying? No chocolate in this eclair.
You were making cream pies, and I'm not talking about the pastry.
No, dude, we were just setting up the toaster strudels for tomorrow morning.
Jesus Christ.
Glazing the donuts, you get what I'm saying?
You know, really fucking someone in the walk-in, you know?
Just not even subtle about it at that point.
Oh, shit.
I have a last story to tell. It's a real quick one from when I was in beauty school.
Okay.
Yeah, you in beauty school. Looks
Oh,
like
hey,
it
she
didn't do
stopped
you too
playing The
much.
Sims.
Hey, dude, fuck off.
And I really wish you had a face cam on for your facial expression when you did that.
Hey, let me tell you.
Because
So,
I'm sure you just contort the living fuck out of your face when you're making that voice.
You right.
you right. Girls hated when okay, so generally when you're going to a beauty school, the population that you get that come in as customers is older women, and
Right.
they're not always the kindest older women.
Boomer alert.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. But so with that, it was always either they would wind up getting like the curlers in their hair.
Mm-hmm.
So then we would have to put like the dryer on them and they do all that shit, or they wanted a perm. So we would have to put like the actual little curlers and do the whole chemicals and shit like that in their hair. And it took forever. People hate fucking, like a hairstylist hates doing perms. They're the stupidest shit you'll ever have to do in your life. And we have to do like 100 of them before we leave school. So one day all the girls were gone and it was me and like maybe 3 people left. And 2 people already had other customers, so I was the last one. And my friend that was working the front desk was like, hey, we have a perm coming in. And I was like, huh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. I was like, yeah, sure, fuck it, I'll do it. I don't care. So I start hearing all of this commotion at the front because I was sitting in the back, and like just this woman was like talking really loudly, and then all of the other teachers were trying to talk to her. And so my friend that was at the front comes back towards me and has the paper in her hand, and he's like, yo, your guest is here, and just gives me this look of like, this is gonna be fun, but you're fucked. And I was like, okay. So I go up to the front, and the one teacher that I used to love the most, her name was Miss Jess, and she'd like help me on everything, and she was just like really kind about it. But so she's like talking to the woman, she's like, I don't know what you're trying to get at, but we'll do our best to help you with the style that you want. And I'm like, okay, well, what's going on here? And I was like, hey, I'm going to be the one taking care of you. What are we looking at? What did you want to do? And she's like, I want to do a perm. And we were like, okay. I was like, well, what kind of curls do you want? Do you want them to be really small, or do you want them to be bigger? And she's like, I want to look like a modern day slut. This woman was like in her 80s, very short. And she's like very thin and skinny, and just looked at me. She's like, I want to look like a modern day slut.
So you go for your hairstyle.
Is that what she said?
Fuck you. Yes. That's what she said.
I want to look like a modern day slut.
Yeah. To which I sat there and I was like, what does that look like? I was like, what do you want? And she's like, you know, what modern day sluts look like. She's like, that's what I want to look like. I'm like, I don't know what that means. To which my teacher, who we aren't even supposed to swear, and she knows me for swearing all the time in the back. So she knows that this chick is like right up my alley, but she's like, you can't talk to her the same way that you normally talk. So like, hold yourself. And she's like, let's not use that language, but like, can you give us a different idea of what you want to look like? And she's like, no, that's it. That's what I want. I want to look like a modern day slut. And we were like, okay, well, you go sit down. We'll start figuring this out. So we seat her in the chair. I bring out a couple of sized rollers, and I'm like, which one do you want? And she was like, those ones are fine. I said, okay. Start doing her hair. This woman's talking to me, swearing up a storm, loud as shit, telling me the craziest fucking stories I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, I put all of the stuff in her hair. I put the chemical in her hair, and she's supposed to sit for 15 minutes. As I go, you're all set, and I start taking my gloves off and everything. She pulls out her credit card from her wallet, goes over her shoulder like this towards me, and goes, by the way, can you run next door to the deli and grab me a sandwich and some chips?
Bro, what?
And I'm like,
Lady, what fucking business do you think I'm running here?
yeah, but I was like, I don't think I can do that. And she's like, what do you mean you can't do it? She's like, all I'm asking you is to take my card next door and go get me something to eat. And I was like, ma'am, I'm not allowed to touch your money. I'm like, I can't do that. I was like, if you want to go next door and go get it, you can. I was like, you're allowed to walk around with like the curlers in your hair and everything. I was like, go next door and grab it yourself if you want to. She was like, she's like, you're making me do so much work. And I was like, I'm sorry. So she goes, okay, fine, whatever. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Goes walking next door, grabs herself a sandwich, chips, drink, whatever else, comes back. Our front waiting room is a bunch of sofas and like a little coffee table. And they're like the long sofa table or sofa couches. Mm-hmm. She comes back, takes her shoes off, lays down on the couch, puts her phone up in front of her to watch show, and sits and eats her sandwich.
Fucking power move.
Yeah, Jesus. I didn't see her do this entire thing. I was sitting in the back. I just came up front to go check on her, and she was just laying down, enjoying her sandwich. And I was like, did you get what you wanted? And she was like, yeah. She's like, I'm having a good time. How much time do I got left? And I was like, about 10 minutes. She's like, that's enough time to finish this episode. And I was like, okay. So it gets done. I go to come grab her, and she's like, man, I'm going to be taking a nap while you're washing my hair out. She's like, I'm full. That sandwich was good. And I was like, that's great. I was like, it's going to take a couple of minutes for the neutralizer in your hair anyway, so you can take a nap. So I went to wash out her hair. She fell asleep for a little bit.
Mhm.
Come back, wake her up, get her back into the chair to dry it. She loves her hair in the end. She almost started crying. She was like, it looks amazing. I'm going to go out tonight. I'm going to look like a slut. I'm going to walk around and get all the men. I'm like, good for you, lady. You go get it.
Great.
Nice.
Yeah. And my teacher turned around to me and was like, what the fuck just happened? I'm like, I don't know, but that was the best day ever. I was like, I want to be her when I get older. She's like, no, you're not. I'm like, I already swear like her. I think I'm there.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
When Mills was telling his walk-in story, it actually kind of reminded me of that I actually have one walk-in story. Not the same type, not that much of a fucking legend. But it was still at Cold Stone, so like in the back we've got the walk-in freezers, we got like this little refrigerator for like the fucking toppings. And then we've got like this big ass freezer for all the ice cream. End of each shift we're supposed to like cover up the ice cream, go put it in the big old freezer. So guy I'm closing with, he's like, hey, if you want to take care of the ice cream, I'm gonna just mop the floors and we can get the fuck out of here pretty quick. So he's mopping the floors. I'm like writing out what all the flavors are on these big ass like parchment sheets, putting them over the ice cream. And I start taking them back. So take a couple of them back. Grab one, go and put it in the freezer. Go to like, you know, step out, get another one of the flavors. My feet don't move.
What?
And as soon as this happens, as soon as I realize that I'm not moving, even though I'm trying to move my feet, I realize what's happened. My coworkers mopped the floor. I have walked across the floor. I've stepped into a freezer.
Oh my god.
The ground is made of metal. In the like 10 seconds that I've stepped into this freezer, my shoes have frozen to the fucking floor.
Nice.
Yeah, so I call out, I'm like, yo, kind of stuck here, mind if I get some help?
No one heard you did that.
No, the door was open. Dude had to spend like a good, you know, solid 30 seconds just laughing his ass off at the fact that I was stuck in the fucking freezer.
Maybe you shouldn't have skipped leg day back then, bud.
Okay, motherfucker. Yeah, that's like the only walk-in story I've got, and we can fucking wrap it up there. We're at about an hour 20 now.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us on this week's installment of the Saturdays Are for the Boys podcast. I'm your host, Hayden, and with me is Connor.
What's up? You can find me everywhere at Phoenix_edits.
Nice. Angel.
Still on Instagram as Sketching Angel, and everything else is there.
And Mills.
Yeah, I don't have any presence on social media or streaming or videos, so just
Would you like to change that, friend?
I'll think about it.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks again so much for listening, and we'll see you next time around when we, I don't know, discuss the multiple ways to skin a cat.
We're probably just going to be talking about more work stories, so we'll see you in the next one.
All right. See you guys.